Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is BN all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, the 254. And I just spoke my truth on Afrobeat Intelligence.
Afrobeats Intelligence Podcast.
Afrobeat Intelligence. Democratizing African music.
Hello, brother.
What's good, my G?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, man.
And Happy New Year's. I remember the first time I interviewed you, then you were part of a group.
Yes.
It was in one of our offices and we were all employed at Pulse then. And
Pulse Nigeria.
Pulse Nigeria, yes.
I'll tell you something special about that day.
Yeah.
When we walked in, the entire office of Pulse Nigeria stood up and gave us a round of applause.
Aww.
And it changed our lives, man.
For real?
Yeah, you guys don't know what you did to us on that day.
Oh,
How
thank
it
you.
made us feel. It was one of those days when we were doing media and just going to different places the whole day. We were tired, we were cranky. But that's just switched up everything for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. Interestingly, the person in charge of this production, the head of production here, was also the head of production at Pulse then. Yes, we work with our own.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro.
How's Lagos treating you?
Always a vibe. It's my second home.
Yeah, but what's
Yeah.
special this time? You have a new album.
Yes, I have a new album, the deluxe of the new album,
Yeah.
and a single now that's in the
yeah.
deluxe
Wahala.
with Wahala, with one AG baby,
Yeah, and Shine.
and Shine TTW.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's an interesting collaboration.
I know.
Yes. how did that happen?
I was in a writing camp in Ghana, the Warner writing camp.
Yeah.
And then I was with Shine there at the camp. Actually, Shine and I just met at that session. The producer was a guy called Remy Baggins.
Yeah, I know Remy.
You know Remy?
I know Remy. He's a
Coolest
friend.
guy ever.
Cool
So
dude.
Shine and I started working on the single, and then we thought we need something, like there's a missing link in the song. And I was just like, you know what? Let me hit up AG. And he came through like the flu.
Oh, he flew to Ghana.
No, like he came through like the flu.
Okay. Amazing. It's a beautiful record.
Thank you.
Interestingly, when I try to share, so I like to listen to music with my people. So I think music is a shared experience.
100%.
Yeah. So even when I'm enjoying it personally, I also love to enjoy it with my people because then we could bond over it.
Yeah.
Just uniting under the banner.
Memories around,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For you, do you do that?
100%. Like I remember my entire life
Yeah.
in songs.
For real?
Yeah, when someone tells me 1997, the first thing I remember is the song that was big in 1997.
Oh.
If someone tells me the year 2005, I remember my life through song. Yeah.
I don't think we as a society we tend to think of music. We think of music as for its utility, of course, makes us happy, soundtracks our moments. But I don't think we fully explored music as a tool for marking time.
Yeah. But I think art in general
True.
is the greatest tool for marking time. Human beings, the human race is marked by the technological advancements we did, of course.
Yeah.
But our artistic abilities and endeavors are what really marks a certain time. Yeah.
So do you ever think of things like the Roman Empire?
Exactly. The Roman Empire,
And then
sculptures.
yeah, those crazy, even the Colosseum itself.
exactly.
It's a beautiful
All
work.
art. Yeah. They did develop a lot in democracy at the time, philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the art is what really glistens.
True.
Yeah.
True. Are you one of those people that's hung on like nostalgia, the past, especially when you think of humanity, the past? Do you ever think that we have had it better in the past than we do now? In terms of the quality of our expression and all of that.
I say yes and no.
In what way?
Because the past, hindsight is 2020.
True.
Yeah, when you look back at life, it's always going to seem like it was easier because maybe as you advance, you figure things out. But there's also a lot of new, amazing music out there.
True.
You know, I can't. The past was great, but the past doesn't have the new Rema album.
That's
You
a
know,
good one.
The past doesn't have the new BN album.
True.
The past doesn't have the new Ashake album.
True.
So all of those things, I think art should just be. It's very unfair of us to look back and say we had it better in a certain era.
Okay.
Yeah, you had it good,
Yeah.
but the best is yet to come.
True. That's a cool way. But nostalgia does a number on us, though.
Nostalgia is cute, and artists actually are notorious for using nostalgia to bait the audiences into liking things. You know, we sample a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We use sounds. We sometimes juxtapose our videos to be in a certain era.
True.
It's all very, very beautiful. I think where we are going is impossible to know where we're going until we know where we're coming from.
True.
So we definitely need. I feel like a great song
Yeah.
is a mixture of nostalgia and the futuristic element of it.
True.
Yeah.
And then when you also think of art as a living, breathing thing, you'd also see that, you know, everyone builds on the work of others.
Yes. Everyone. There's no new news in art.
True.
Everything has been done. So you just come and give more or less your touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I love music so much, and it's beautiful. And
I know. Music, man.
so I know you work in it. You have expressed yourself for the most part of your life via music. But when you think of it, music, maybe as an abstract idea or you break it down to, or you deconstruct it down to like elements, vocals, DAWs, all of that stuff. How do you consider
DAW?
Yeah, that's what the DAW, that's what they use for, think of Logic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Logic is a DAW. So for you, when you think of music, what comes to mind for you as some?
When I think of music,
Yeah.
what comes to my mind? Emotions,
Yeah.
you know, like messages, melodies, percussion,
Yeah.
rhythm,
Yeah.
vibration.
True.
Yeah.
And
In no particular order. Just all of them hitting you from different angles.
then putting it all together to create one file.
Exactly.
One file. I think it's magical.
It is. By the way, it's mad spiritual
Yeah.
to create something. It is even more mad spiritual when you put it on a record and then you sing it in a show and people sing back. It's crazy magical when people send you messages and tell you, yo, this song has done this for me in my life. I used this song on my wedding. This was my walking down the aisle song. I lost a brother and this song put me through a difficult time. All of that is just the magic of music.
True.
I imagine a world without music. It's impossible. Like imagine COVID without songs.
No way.
Life would never be bearable, man. Music is everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on this deluxe version of Alusa, Why Are You Naked? But why were you naked?
So the title of the album is Alusa, Why Are You Topless?
Topless.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name, as people know me in the village, is Alusa. Oh. Yeah, Alusa. I was named after my grandfather.
What does it mean?
Alusa means, actually, but you know, in my community, my tribe, we don't name people names with meaning. Okay. Yeah, we name what sounds beautiful to the tongue.
For real?
Yeah. So in the Luya community, there's many names that don't mean anything.
It just sounds great.
It sounds, Alusa.
Alusa. This parts we have.
Yeah, Alusa.
Yes, we do.
Everyone told me that. Yeah.
Alusa, that's the seat of government in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, man.
on the mainland. That's
Yeah.
where we all are. So first time I saw the project, I'm like, what's this guy doing? Alusa.
Alusa.
Then I looked at him like, this is not Alusa.
It's Alusa. Yeah. And in my Sauti Soul era,
Yeah.
there's a song we did called Nishike that was very, very controversial.
Yeah.
We were dancing topless. We were oiled up. The girls were going crazy. But everybody in Kenya was like, that's an abomination. People are so conservative. and the song was banned from radio. We were all like, we lost shows from that.
No way.
And just when we thought we were losing everything, we got our first booking in Nigeria, we got our first booking in Tanzania, we got our first booking outside the country. And that moment, the audacity it took us to be topless and to whine and to do all those things that made us uncomfortable is what took us to the next level. So now as I'm going to the next level, I'm bringing that audacity with me.
Sure.
And toplessness is freedom. My mom did call me at the time and she was like, Alusa, why are you topless? So I thought that's going to be good fodder later in my life. And it's come to rescue me now.
Yes, it has. Well, music, it's weird how much of a reaction something as common as pairing semi-nudity with music, how much of a reaction it did. You guys didn't envisage that was an act of protest or something, or that would...
I don't know, but I think at the time it was our form of protest. And it was very deliberate, by the way. We need to do a raunchy song. We need to take our fans to the bedroom because we've taken them everywhere, man. We've done the gospel, we've done we've done the club, we've done all the different places, and we've never taken our fans to the bedroom.
Yeah.
And that's where amazing happens.
But toplessness is also vulnerability.
You see, toplessness is vulnerability to the core. And with this first album that I was doing, I had to be mad vulnerable. Yeah. Because for the first time, I'm communicating what my philosophy is.
Yeah.
What my stand on many things is aside from the group. So I needed to be vulnerable. You know, I had to shed off my gangster points to sing a song that's a tribute to my wife.
Wow.
You know?
That's lovely.
Yeah. But there goes my gangster points.
No worry, you get it back.
You get them back, yeah.
You get them back. And, but still on the same project, you have Sex and Marijuana with Miss Banks.
You see? Got it back.
Yeah.
Got it back.
Well done. So, I'm interested in something you have just mentioned. You talk about your philosophy. And for the first time, you are speaking solely for yourself with your voice alone. How does that process vary from what you did when you were part of a group?
You know, as a group, you're never going to have, if the group is a democracy like Sauti Sol was, you're never going to have full creative control. However, we did agree on at least 80% of everything. And that's enough, But for the first time now, I'm by myself, and any decision I want to make, any decision that's made about this art is made by me. It's a great feeling. It is to have autonomy of thought and to be able to execute things much faster because you don't need the cosign of 3 other directors,
But do you miss your past?
Of course I do. It was a beautiful season of my life. Yeah, all of my fond memories. It's like I said, hindsight is 20/20. When I look back at those years, those are beautiful times. And my past has reminded me to always enjoy the present because at that time I was busy worrying about the future.
Yeah.
And here I am in the future now, looking back at the past like, those are simpler times. Those are beautiful times.
Sure.
So I'm very conscious right now to enjoy.
This one.
And Sauti Sol also didn't have a bad breakup. Bands usually split with animosity.
Yeah.
We had a very, I wouldn't say breakup, we were on a break even.
Yeah.
Like we had a very civil, we went for therapy before that.
For real?
Yeah.
As a group?
As a group.
Everyone sat down?
The 4 of us in a room with a therapist, and we talked about the future and where we are headed and what we'd like for one another and how we can be in each other's lives even now as we're not, because we were together for 20 years, guys.
Yeah.
We met in high school as teenagers. So it's very difficult to move from that. And I always say, our parents stayed in the same jobs for 30 years. Sure. 50 years. My dad worked at Firestone. All those crazy stories.
Yes.
Have you ever thought that you might need a new job?
But I think back then the world was simpler.
Exactly. So now this is my new job now. This is me being the CEO of a new company. That's maybe a startup. It's a private venture.
For you, what made you realize that it was time?
I think we all realized at the same time, we were starting to not really enjoy it anymore. It became really work. We were in different spaces. Like one of us had just had a baby, and we were just like, COVID was happening as well, and COVID came with a big mind shift. And for me, it was just for me to be able to explore something different, really, and just see what the other side looks like. And it has not been easy.
Yeah.
Do I miss the gang? Of course I miss the stupidity. Who wouldn't, man? Hanging out with your best friends every day, making art.
Yeah.
Tell me, man, is there anything sweeter than that?
No, it's
Yeah, those things don't exist.
winning together.
Winning together, losing together.
Losing together also.
Yeah, losing together is beautiful, man.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because the other side is always. So I do. And I'm looking forward to the next Sauti Sol season because there is money in a reunion.
Yeah.
There's money in people seeing us together again.
True.
And I'm coming for that money. So we just told each other, we told each other that we need to be very conscious during this solo season to put in work, all of us, so that in our next season, as Sauti Sol, we have added ourselves in value. And I mean, we're not coming back as a group to play because we're not just like desperate and we need a check. Nah.
We're coming back because it feels right.
It feels right, and it's the time. It's time. Yeah.
So, I've been a part of things as a person. I've been a part of things that have worked for me. I've been a part of spaces collaborative spaces even, whether a job or a project, that leaving, that when it was done or when I felt it was done, part of what held me back there was not the fear of the future, because that one you can go into the dark and you don't know what's happening. It's where your cards drop. It's you can put your best effort, but the universe does its thing also, no matter how much. But that feeling of sunken cost fallacy, the amount of investment you've put here, and having to let go of it
And start again.
and start afresh. You never had that feeling.
I have it all the time. It takes a new... I just had to tell myself that this new season may be connected to the old, but it's going to require a new me to move into this new season. And it's taken all of me. I could sit down and perform the same Sauti Sol songs because those are hits.
Yeah.
Or I could be uncomfortable and perform new songs in the album and introduce people to the new version of me and keep on moving like that. So I don't know, man. Like, I did feel sunken cost. Man, look, Sauti Sol has millions of followers across all platforms. Now I'm building afresh, and I'd already cultivated that audience. But it's never felt like work. Okay. Yeah, it just feels like another day doing what brought me on this earth.
And then as a creative, how do you then, as a creative, especially as a creative who's striking out on your own, how do you identify the next thing? Does it come to you? How do you pull it in?
The next thing has to be just authentic and it has to come to me. But also I have to be in the right frame of mind to receive it. Because I'm just the vessel.
What does it mean, being in the right frame of mind? What does that mean?
Sometimes the universe, art is the universe talking to you through the artist.
True.
Yeah. And sometimes the artist, if the vessel is broken, then the art will not reach you in the same way, in the way it's supposed to. Yeah. So I need to make sure that I maintain a healthy mental space around me to make the best art, to be able to channel the best art. Yeah.
So if I would expand this a little, so I do a lot of reading and studying.
I can tell, man.
into the nature of creativity. Because music, when you study music on its own, even though it's a great expression of creativity, but it's also a part of a wider thing, the art of expression. So no matter what you do. And when you boil it down, it comes down to ideas. So you talk about the universe, being in the right frame of mind for the universe to flow through you or to speak through you or to use you as a vessel. And it brings me to this theory I learned somewhere about ideas. So this theory is that ideas are a life form that exists parallel to us. And when they want to make themselves manifest, they just go around looking for the perfect person to do it. And that's why when you have an idea that's hit you for a while and you don't bring it into the world,
Someone else does it.
somebody else would do it because
Exactly.
it's the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nobody and nothing can stop an idea which its time has come.
True.
Yeah. It's important to just, and not overthink as well. Actually, the learning from that is not to overthink. If you have a song and you want to put it out there, man. You know, like Nipsey Hussle's mother said at his funeral that artists should empty themselves.
True.
So at all times, we should look to empty ourselves and not sit on the message for too long.
But what if the same universe, the same universe that has given you this and giving you this idea to express, and that same universe, on the other hand, has also put like roadblocks between you and that expression.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit of a paradox?
It's a paradox, by the way, it is. I feel like that's what purpose is about. Purpose is about figuring out the obstacles to be able to achieve a certain goal. And there are going to be obstacles in anything you do. There's always going to be all forces of nature blowing you in different directions. But as the bearer of the message, it's up to you to keep your mind and your focus steady. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you
Or
did.
did I just beat around the bush?
No, you didn't. You didn't beat around the bush. You hit it on the head. But it also brings me to this. Being focused and all. For you, how do you now stay balanced?
Yeah.
In terms of in that sense.
I'm just lucky, man. You know, like, to be honest, I'm so lucky my wife is my manager.
Oh, beautiful.
So, like, being with her has really helped me maintain balance. Because, you know, more often than not, artists lose it because they have trust issues. Artists are the most insecure human beings in the world. Okay. And when you don't have someone who really has your best interest at heart on your team managing you, your insecurities can end up pushing you to push other people away.
Sure.
Also, family has kept me really grounded.
Yeah.
My family doesn't know me as a star. They just know Alusa. Yeah. My mom still makes me do minor tasks when I go to her house. Like, go to the cows in the back, pick a bucket, go to the fence, you know, like.
For real? You guys have a farm?
Yeah, we do. We do. Yeah,
How big is it?
Huge, man. Massive. Like, a couple acres. We have cows.
Way.
We have all kinds of, like, crops there. Traditional vegetables, arrowroots. My mom is a farmer. I grew up in a farm as well. Like, I know too much about plants and farming. I'm scarred for life.
It must have been fun having a childhood where you have to interact with nature.
Was
it fun?
It wasn't fun, no. At the time, as a child, it wasn't fun. And as an adult right now, I still don't want it. Like, I'm scarred for life. I'm done farming, guys. Yo, you know, this one time, we used to have chicken.
Yeah.
And there was safari ants?
I don't know them.
Okay, safari ants are these tiny ants that bite like crazy.
Oh, no.
And they go into the chicken house.
Okay, I think I know them now.
And you have to go and remove all the chicks because they're eating up the chicks.
No way.
So you have to go and remove all of them by hand. And you know, the only way to remove safari ants from a space is to go in naked. Because if you wear clothes and they feel the friction between your skin and the clothes, that's when they bite.
For real?
Yeah, man. So I had to do stuff like that. I had to come back from school early so that I can take the chicken into the house and do what before I do my homework. I've planted maize, I've planted beans, I've planted onions. Farming has paid my school fees growing up.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I know all the ins and outs of a farm. And that's enough farming for today, guys. Like, I don't think I ever want to go back to that again.
And then where did music come into that farm?
I was singing that whole time, man. That's the only way it was bearable. Like, I used to sing my way as I'm doing chores and stuff. Yeah. I don't know, music has always been my first love. As far as I could remember, I've been a musician, imagine. Like, I knew about my calling very early in life. My cousin asked me when I was like maybe 5 years old, what are you going to do when you grow up? And I said, I'm going to be a superstar. And she burst out laughing and they were all like, oh my God, did you hear what he said? Now she reminds me, and you were so right, man, you know. I always knew I was going to be a musician. So my calling has never been wavy for me.
What gives a person that level of conviction that early in their life? I think it's a what gives a person that?
I don't know, by the way. And actually, my environment didn't support it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my conscience just fought for it too much. Anytime there was something musical going on TV, I would stay glued to the screen. Like I didn't understand what force this was that was just pushing me, or pulling me rather, to it. Like in high school, or in primary school even, the teacher would be like, "Who's going to lead the chorus today?" And everybody would be like, "Bien," you know? And I would do it with glee. So it's just always been a spirit.
And when did you leave the farm?
When did I leave the farm?
Was it to pursue music?
I didn't leave the farm to pursue music. I mean, I didn't leave the farm to pursue music. The farm is still there. When I go home, I go to the farm. But after high school, I think, is when I started following my musical ambitions and taking them very seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by then you had your friends.
By then I moved out of home. I went to live in uni, and I had my friends there, and we were doing our thing. I became a city boy.
Were your people supportive?
My family at that point was, because I finished school. I was already enrolled in university, and actually music was so kind to me, man. Music paid my school fees in uni.
So,
like when I was a freshman, I put out my first single with Sauti Sol. We put out our first single, and we just started getting gigs. And I told my mom, "Yo, you don't have to pay anymore. I'm gonna sort it out." She was like, "Are you sure? This music thing can pay." So when that happened, there was all the trust in the world.
And the growth from then to now, it's been phenomenal.
It has.
It's been phenomenal. Well done. But what did it take out of you to be able to make that growth? Or what does it take from you or what does the world require of you to constantly grow? Because in music here, I like to think of longevity as dynamism, just repeated cycles of dynamism. Because when you grow, the only reason why you continue to grow and advance in art is because you're able to change. Yeah.
I think the growth for me has just come from being able to first of all, I'm a sponge in absorbing the no's. Yeah. I take them with stride, with grace. I never take a no as at the end of anything. So I'm never really disappointed when someone says a no to me. Many doors have been shut in my face many times, but that's just that. So I never let that get to me. And then, I think just the love for what I do, man. It's too much. It's too much. I don't know how to express it, man, but yeah. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Midway, I was like,
no.
What am I saying?
No, your cognitive abilities are top notch. Yeah, you're answering all the questions and even giving me more.
Thank you, man.
It's amazing. It's a great conversation. And so, Alusa, why are you topless? You started creating it. What did you start creating it when you left?
No.
When did you, like the first record?
When I was compiling the record,
and
all the singles together, is when I realized that I'd been preparing myself for this moment for all my life. Some of those songs in there are verses that I had taken to Where Songs Go to Die.
Yeah.
And when I was recording the new record, some of the verses fit. The interludes are from old songs that Sauti Sol, we used to call them old Sauti Sol rejects.
Oh, okay.
The songs that didn't make the Sauti Sol album, because of that season we tried recording them and they just didn't sound great. All of a sudden started sounding great when I tried them again. So there's that. And then there's also the new songs that I worked on just before the album was out. So it's a mix of the old and the new.
So when you look at this project, when you listen to this project for you, you get a sense of nostalgia. You also get a sense of adventure because there's still the known and the unknown.
Yes. Past and present. Nostalgia is sweet. And the present is what it is. So yeah.
That must feel great.
It does. It does feel great. And it does feel great to have pure creative control of where it's headed. And it also, it's scary 2 days before the album was out,
Yeah.
I was in the house listening, and I told my wife, man, I hate this album. These songs are trash. I can't believe we're about to put this record out. Can we like stall it for a bit more for me to go and like write some more hits? And she was like, you better shut up. And when the album came out, the response was just so overwhelming, you know. People loved it. People were raving about the music. And it just showed me that, okay, it's a good project. I just need to stop being insecure, which is pretty normal.
And so you've done this work. Sometimes I'm trying to track progress in terms of change, not just within you, but within the wider ecosystem that you work with. So you've worked locally.
Yeah.
You're working internationally. And maybe when we discover a new planet with habitants.
We are going to work there too.
We are headed there to go work there. But I'm just thinking, what translates, when you think of music, what translates from one culture to another in terms of your experience?
From my experience, what translates, because people can't understand the isms of different cultures directly.
Sure.
But what I've seen to really translate is authenticity. Authenticity, vulnerability. We all go through the same emotions. We all feel love. We all feel heartbreak. We all feel low. We all feel high sometimes. And so all of these things are what make life what it is. And if you put that in the music, you can never go wrong. I don't understand the Yoruba, but that Fuji song in Ashake's album, he's not going to miss me because it's so authentic, you know? I get some of my Nigerian friends to translate for me sometimes.
Oh, nice.
But that aside, even if they didn't, I wouldn't love the songs any less. Yeah.
Fuji, interestingly, Fuji is one of, there's some list of genres, I like to call them classic Nigerian music. So we have Fuji, we have Apala, we have High Life.
So I have a question. Fuji is don't stop me, is and then Apala is Apala disco.
Yeah. See, you've done your work.
Classic sounds, man. Classic sounds. When I listen to Apala disco, it changed even how I recorded my own music. Yeah, it took Afrobeats into a deep place of roots.
Yeah.
And I got so inspired that I even now took myself to that deep place of roots. Yeah.
This is the first time I'm so impressed. I know, you know I'm impressed because you studied the music enough to know the sound and
yeah, definitely. You know, I'm a student of music and life. Actually, that's what longevity is about. Longevity is about studying your environment. Yeah. As a human being, the human beings who study the environments live the longest. If you make sense of your environment, you live longer than everybody else. So that's what I'm doing with music. I just love music to a level where I listen to all kinds of music. Everything.
Okay, let's do a very direct comparison because I'm trying to tap into like your rich knowledge of working within markets.
Let's go.
And performances. So let's say you have a show in, let's say, Dar es Salaam. At the same time, you might have a show in Kigali.
Yeah.
And then you have a show in Lagos. What's the connection?
The set list is going to have to be very different.
In what way?
I don't think the songs that would work in Dar es Salaam. Okay, the songs that cut across all the places. But some of the songs in Dar es Salaam won't work in Nigeria simply because in East Africa, we are big on storytelling.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, you're big on percussion.
Sure.
So the storytelling element could fail to connect because it's just in a language you guys don't understand. But the story itself, you might fuck with, you know? But what connects these three places is it's just a bunch of Africans.
Sure.
And African creatures are all alike. We are so similar. It's crazy. I could drop you in Nairobi right now, bro, and you just look like the most Kenyan guy I've met.
True.
And it's who we are. All of these boundaries were given. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. They split us up.
They split us up. But we are so similar. I'm from enjoying banga right now.
Yeah.
And banga is just banga and pounded yam. I had that for lunch and many other things. But banga is just Kenyan food.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like Kenyan beef stew.
The same makeup.
Same makeup, same everything. It's just banga. So we are very similar.
So you guys work with kernels and all that, and with the palm oil to create stew.
We may not make it with palm oil,
Yeah.
but we do make stews that are very banga-esque.
So this thing you talk about, all of us being the same person. When I think of humanity, humanity generally, I like to think we are all the same person living different lives. So breaking that down, everything I feel as a human, you experience it too. Pain, heartbreak, down to like bodily functions.
Yeah, I've never experienced heartbreak.
Oh.
Yeah, I've always been the one doing the breaking. I'm kidding. Yeah, but I feel you, bro. You're right.
So when I even when I have like crazy bad days, or when I meet a person and the person rubs me off wrong, I'm just like, this person is going through
A human experience.
the human experience, and they're at a different stage of theirs. And it's not about me. It's what's happening to them. And maybe it helps me. It helps provide me empathy and perspective.
That is the most empathetic view of life I've ever had.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think I'm that forgiving.
For real?
Yeah. So if you meet me with force, I give you. You pepper me, I pepper you.
Yeah, I think there's situations for that. Like even today, someone has royally, using the F word, me today.
Okay.
And this is someone that I have invested heavily in. And even now, even though I feel pain.
You slap them. Slap them.
Even though I feel pain, I'm still drawn to.
I feel you, man.
To still extend grace.
Extending grace
Yeah.
is an extreme sport.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's an extreme sport. But
Yeah.
don't worry, it's a heavy cross to carry, but you're carrying it well.
Well, I try. Thank you. I try. And so, when you started working internationally, how has the sound, in terms of like what works on the continent across markets, how has that changed to now?
How has that changed to now?
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen Afrobeats go through a whole metamorphosis. Like it's been, I've known Afrobeats for 10 years.
Yeah.
I can say Afrobeats has gone from being very, very roots-based African music
Yeah.
and slowly become palatable to the world, and it's now going back to the roots.
So it's been a cycle for you.
It's been a cycle, definitely, man. It's been a journey, and I've in my art, I've learned how to pick up influences from the cycle and just infuse it in my art in a way that I don't feel like I'm being inauthentic to myself or my people. But I love what Rema did with this album.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, why'd you love it?
Because it's not what I expected. Immediately I heard it the first time, I was thrown off.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it again and again and again, and I got it. I was like, yeah, this young man knows that Afrobeat had been whitewashed.
True.
So it's good to see that, and we underestimate, by the way, what happens when an artist of that level goes back to the roots. We underestimate it because it changes the whole game. It changes the whole game plan.
True, but there's also the part where the businessmen would say, "Hey, going back to the roots means alienating your newfound fan base or your newfound audience." Yeah, that's what the businessman, especially within the.
But would
space,
you rather be inauthentic?
No.
Exactly. So I think an audience that is with you when you're not being your authentic self isn't a lasting audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what they're saying. We all want 50 calm downs from the calm down king.
Sure.
But come on, you take what he gives you.
Sure.
Yeah, man. He's the captain of that ship.
True.
And we listen.
True.
Mm.
So when you're creating records, where when you're making music and you're saying, okay, this influence has come out, this influence is in, this influence is here, and I want to incorporate that in my music. How do you now maintain that authenticity when there's a lot of, for you, how do you maintain authenticity when there's a lot of divergent influences that are very foreign to you?
I think mostly through language.
Okay.
Yeah, language and melody are two big components in that. In the visual expression of it all, through the dance. Yeah, the dance can be a very authentic Kenyan dance, for example, that brings it home. It could be the fashion that's in the video. It could be the representation of it all online and how it looks. And that's how I think I maintain. But also, if I'm doing I always make sure that I'm doing a fusion of what is popping. So if it's my piano, I'll put in some log drum, but I'll still maintain all of the elements that I did before that made me who I am.
So someone listening to you would know this is bien, but this is an advanced, this is bien, but this is like bien extension.
Exactly. And not even this is the bien extension. This is bien.
Okay.
Yeah, when they listen to my voice already, that's identity. When I start singing in Swahili or Luya or whatever language I'm singing in, that's identity. You know, when they see me on the video and they see my features, they're like, oh, okay, that's a Kenya. That's identity.
But isn't it, even as a person, living on the music always operates on, music stays on the edge. That's how I say it, both in terms of sound and even in terms of technology. So with sound, you know, the sound's always changing, new things are coming. And then as an artist, especially an artist that appeals to a wide market that isn't niche, you would have to you're constantly living in research and development mode.
Yo, trust me, man. You're on A&R.
Yes.
You're on A&R mode 90% of the time.
Where's the farthest you've had to travel to go find music?
To go find music?
Yes.
I don't know, man. By what do you mean by that? Because
No, I mean traveling in terms of like when seeking new expressions.
New expressions. I seek new expressions all the time. I get inspired when I'm in Thailand. I get inspired when I'm in Lagos. I get inspired everywhere. It's just anytime I'm anywhere, the first thing I do is I look for the art of those people.
Yeah.
And I try and make sense of it. And not to use it in my world, but just to like appreciate the values behind that art. When we were in Thailand earlier this year, I went to watch a Ladyboy cabaret show.
For real?
Yeah. And it was amazing. Like those guys are super talented. It's a lip sync show, but it takes you through a journey of the history of Thailand. I left that show appreciating the Thai people on another level. Did I use any of that in creating new art? I don't know. Not yet, no. Because it's very different from what I do. Would I go watch it again? Hell yeah, I would. You know, it was amazing.
And you just begin to appreciate how art travels through time. And
Yeah,
space.
and what it means, especially when I love art that means everything to the people who are creating it. When I come here and I go to the shrine and Femi is playing Water or Femi is playing his catalog and I see Nigerian people going crazy for it, that always turns me on to that art, man. Like it's meaningful art. True. It's useful in their lives.
Sure.
Yeah.
It gives it meaning
Too much,
dimension.
Yes.
For Kenya, so for Nigeria, half the time when we think of our music history, we think, because of how prominent Fela was or Fela is, we tend to use him as a touch point. And when you use Fela as a touch point, you're going to find things like protest art. You're going to find things like protest art, art as resistance, art as this. For Kenya, your music history, do you guys have that?
We don't have a musician as potent in terms of the protest and everything.
Yeah.
because Kenya was in a dictatorship for 24 years. And that dictatorship really did a lot of harm to the music industry.
In what way?
It whitewashed a lot of our music, eroded a lot of our culture, and the president was just into choirs.
Choirs?
Yeah, choirs that sang about him.
No way.
Yeah, it was like proper Mao Zedong type, you know. So those kinds of things have definitely affected. Because when we look for Kenyan musicians in the 80s, in the 70s, I'm like, where the hell were you guys when Fela was doing his thing? But you realize that they were really, really oppressed at that time, and there wasn't structure built for them to succeed. So over the years, of course, a lot of people have come up. There's an artist called Eric Wanaina, who put a song out called Inchi ya Kitu Kidogo, like the land of give me something small. And I think that was the first time we had a very revolutionary song.
What does give me something small? What does that speak
Kitu Kidogo, something small.
What does it speak to?
Give me something small it speaks to like corruption in government offices. You want a service done for you? Yeah, give me something small. Give me something small. So Eric Wenaina is the flag bearer of protest music in our country. And I say he's what Fela then was. Yeah. But that was maybe the year 2000, 1999. That's the first time someone could have the balls to do that, you know.
And how was it received?
It was received very well. I don't know about his runnings with government.
Cops were following him to his shows?
Yeah, man, cops were following to his shows. Cops were turning off the music in places where he was performing. He didn't have it easy. But nothing can stop a revolution whose time has come. Because by the time he did that song also, that dictatorship was on a decline.
Yeah.
And that song was a big catalyst in the consciousness of people's minds and them overcoming that dictatorship.
And generally, art in itself, the role of art as protest, art as resistance, art as that. Nigerians, we're very conversant with that. Because while Fela did a lot to our consciousness, and we always look up to him as a beacon. And over the years, I don't think Nigeria there's never been a Nigerian government that has been very popular. We've had fairly popular ones, but nobody has ever had the unanimous support of everybody.
Isn't that what democracy is, though? It's impossible for a country of 200 million to have a general consensus on who they want to lead them. That's
democracy promises you that.
That's a lie. I don't even know if democracy is the best tool of governance for Africans. Yeah.
Even now, as we speak, your people are resisting.
We are resisting. We're on the streets. We're resisting bad governance. We're resisting a finance bill that was hurting us. We're resisting corruption in government, poor infrastructure, bad roads, poor health, sanitation facilities. We're resisting everything. That's where we're at.
And what role is art playing in this?
The art has been by far, the role of art in this revolution has been crazy because it's been the consciousness of the people, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the protest songs that have been done since Eric Wanaina to date, including Sauti Sol's catalog that has had massive, protest songs, including music that I put out during that protest that ended up being used in the protest by the people who are protesting.
For real?
Yeah, man. It's just been a whole different experience, and seeing how dance also, because in the protest, people were dancing on the streets.
Yeah.
People were marching to parliament. People were dancing in front of the police. And dancing in front of the police who have live bullets and ammunition, that is the craziest form of protest I've seen in my life. That tells you the level where art is in people's hierarchy of needs. So art has really played a big, big role in the current protest right now. in being the consciousness of the people and their entertainment in equal measure.
True.
Yeah.
You know, in 2020, we had a very crazy protest.
I saw the NSAS.
The NSAS one.
Yeah.
I was a part of it. I love protest.
Why haven't I seen you in the streets of Lagos right now, man?
This
It's complicated.
This one's complicated,
Yeah.
and so it wasn't clear. The messaging for this one, while we feel the issues and everything, well, the clarion call was not clear.
Is it because this protest was okay? I think in Kenya it was leaderless.
Yes.
So is that the same case in Nigeria?
Nigeria, no. You could literally feel an external string pulling things. So protest, while we feel the same things, but protest takes multiple colors across multiple parts. We're a country that is very heterogeneous. We're more tribal than united. So even when we seek solutions,
You go into your tribal cocoons.
yes.
The one thing that these protests have done in Kenya is they have removed tribalism from the table at all. I think for the first time, Kenyans are having conversations based on ideology more than tribal politics. Yeah, it's such growth. I often used to wonder when we're going to get to that level of, emancipation.
Yeah.
I thought it would maybe 10 years, 20 years. But, a revolution is not a birthday party. It happens.
Down here is different, man. I envy you guys. Even we ourselves, we
No,
envy.
but I feel like Nigeria will get to that point too. Life will become unbearable. Where Kenyans are at right now for them to go to the streets and not care if they die or not, life is unbearable. People are struggling. There are no jobs. It's the worst it's ever been. And I feel like when Nigerians get to their knees properly, they're going to come to the realization that they need to do something about it. It's just also a very, how can I say this? Capitalism is the biggest enemy of progressive revolutions.
True.
Yeah, because people have to go back to their livelihoods and their jobs. I'd rather be here shooting a podcast than being on the streets. But the day you can't air your podcast because the government has turned off the internet and stuff, you'll go to the streets.
Yes.
So until the day it touches you where it hurts the most.
Very solemn. So I'm getting to it. Okay. I'm emotional
It'll
about
touch you, don't worry.
Yes, I'm emotional about it because I really care. I remember during the NSAS protest, I was on the street so that time was very interesting. So while I had never been particularly oppressed by the policing system, not particularly, but I could understand the plight of everybody else. And so what I would do is I wake up in the morning and I was opportune. Then I used to work in South Africa. So and around that period I wasn't in South Africa. I was here. And so I wake up in the morning, do meetings, when I'm done, I wear my running outfit because I run long distance. I run marathons.
Look at you, Kenyan.
Well, I try.
The Kenyan in you.
Tomorrow morning, I'm running a 15K.
15K?
Yeah, every weekend we do between 10 and 15.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy
My
it.
wife ran one marathon and she wouldn't stop talking about it. She's always telling everyone, when I did a marathon. The thing about marathoners, you just don't shut up, man.
Well,
You guys must tell the world.
because it takes a lot to run a marathon. It takes a lot. It takes a lot.
It does.
It does. So I used to be 5 times the size.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to be very big. I used to be not chubby, big. And so when I started, it was running marathons was what helped me cut it all down. And so that level of stress, that level of deprivation, the level of discipline, and then you have to delude yourself every day because running, it's pain.
Has to be the hardest thing in the world.
It's painful.
Yeah.
So you delude yourself and try to extract joy from it.
It's true.
Yeah.
And what it does for the mind is also crazy, man. It does.
Squeezes you out.
Yeah, it squeezes you out. But I think the mental strength I built in my running era, because I had an era when I used to run a lot.
For real?
Yeah.
When was that?
COVID. Yeah, 2019, 2020, 2021, I used to run every other day. And the mental strength I built at that time was insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, it's lovely. So, something else we're checking. Thank you for the conversation.
I appreciate it, man. By the way, I've been a big fan of your podcast, bro. I watch it.
Thank you.
I watched Don Jazzy's episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've watched and I learned so much from watching your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. All the way from Kenya, guys, we're watching.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So with me, I just try to make people, I like to make people like teach. So when I ask you questions about like navigating multiple spaces, do you know how many other artists or people who are looking to like walk in your footsteps and they're like, okay, I don't know how to connect to the next guy. But when you say vulnerability and the humanization of the art itself, a lot of them will say, okay, this is what works.
Yes.
So it's a service for me, even beyond anything. And so I want to end with us listening to...
Hey, on these Burna Boy headphones?
Yes.
Damn, man. I've been seeing these online, man. I saw them on his page.
Yeah. So my partners, Oraimo, we're doing a special time capsule. Shout out to them. Shout out to Oraimo. They're doing a special time capsule. So we're checking out and reviewing. We're checking out and giving our experiences of how it sounds, how it feels, and all that. So you pick one song and then you can put it in.
I feel like I can't listen to one song only. I'll stick to one song only.
Well, if you're gun to your head, one song.
Wahala.
Okay. Wahala, let's go. I would play it from here.
Bomb cut, like the packaging is bomb too.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. Bass.
So, how's the experience listening with that? What do you think of it?
Wow. I'm like pleasantly surprised.
For real?
Yeah, man. These are dope. They sound amazing. I have a bad relationship with earpods.
For real?
Yeah, because of the complex of losing one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I would totally go back in again because of these.
Oh.
These are dope, yeah.
Thank you. I love them too. They do amazing work. And I like the mix. I like the output of it all.
It's amazing. Yo, I'll get me a pair before I leave Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I should.
You should. So with you've done so much. So much for yourself, so much for your people, and so much for people like me and a lot of Nigerians and people around the world. You've done so much. And the journey is still starting.
Yeah.
This is still day one for you.
It is.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm starting afresh.
Yeah, you are actually.
Yeah. And all the things I did with Sauti Soul, I'm doing them again. You interviewed me with Sauti Soul, now you interview me again. And it has taken a different kind of me.
Yeah.
And a different kind of humility also to start afresh.
True.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it any different. Yeah, I love it.
Amazing. But in all of this journey, this twists and turns and seasons and hills and valleys and ebb and flow. What do you keep for yourself? What's when it all passes away? What stays with you?
What stays with me?
Yeah.
Memories. Yeah, I have built great friendships, great memories, disappointment, happiness. I think I've lived an amazing life that if I'm answerable to myself, I've done so well in terms of just maintaining, happiness through it all. Yeah.
And that's beautiful. I think we should end on that note.
Let's. Cool.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you and congratulations on your podcast and your wins, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're doing it for the continent.
Thank you.